Hello there! Ah. Whoop. Almost. It almost did this correctly this time. But welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing on this fine... Here it is. Fine Saturday afternoon. Hope you're ready for a Saturday Citizen Sleeper stream. Ooh, okay, hold on. Music just got really intense. Did not intend for it to get that intense. This is apparently a Mirror's Edge OST soundtrack, which is cool. I like Mirror's Edge a lot, especially the aesthetics of it. So, what happened last time is I forget. So, we're going to jump straight in and see if it tells us anything in the quest logs. Sorry, I need to actually grab the music real quick. That's the ticket. That's the ticket. Very nice. Okay. Now we can go in. Continue operator on cycle 24. Yes, that's right. And what happened? I remember helping out with a guy's kid. I remember finding our way into the green area and the hub, so we've a veritable plethora of things that we can do. Look at all these items on our quest list. Build a home? Never gonna happen. Crack Conway. Ah, right. I need to slot some Ripper worms over on the data side. Disable your tracker. That's just sort of generally out there. Flotilla 8. Mushrooms. I need to find mushrooms. Sabine to make contact. I think that's over on the other side of the gap. Mushrooms. Volunteer at the commune. Help complete the sidereal horizon. Right. So, where might I find these mushrooms? Oh, pray tell. Gather scrap, not here. These mushrooms appear to be very crucial. Climbing briar. Oh, is the first of 3 episodic updates to Citizen Sleeper telling the story of the Refuge Flotilla, which has arrived at the Eye. All 3 episodes, Flux, Refuge, and Purge, are now available. Completing the Supply Greel's action will begin the episode, but be aware that it is intended for late game play. Ah, okay. So maybe not on that, actually. Well, it's all the better, because I can't figure out where the mushrooms are. You wouldn't be there, would you? The Greenway. Surely it's got to be the Greenway, right? Yeah, I need to explore this. So, okay, let's leave and make sure that we have a survey of all our possible options here. We could go up to the hub. Don't see a particular reason to do that right now. Still waiting for Sabine to make contact. You're building up to something. And yeah, building the sidereal horizon. I mean, we're just sort of generally working on that, but we can give it a decent go. What does that get us? That'd get us a couple cryo and progress. That's what I like to see. All right, let's hop over to the data side and figure out what I'm doing here. Slot the first Ripper worm. Yes, but trouble is I forget where. Is it yet again? I don't think it's yet again, actually. I don't... Oh, no, wait, it was over here, right? I don't know, actually. Can I... It says I'm tracking this. But I don't see anything. Unless it's supposed to be over there. Deep in the wastes. Right, sorry, I need to be over on the other side. That explains it. So now I'm over here. Now I can use this. Hypothetically. Conway access. Input 1 Ripper Worm. Will do if I can get my thing to work correctly. I am looking down at my OBS screen because this whole menu is behind my phone that I'm using for tracking. Opens up to you. Godspeed. Okay. As you slot the worm, excuse me. As you slot the worm, a thread jumps up out of the facility and unspools in front of you, releasing its data like ink in water. Sleeper. Feng's voice crackles through, moving in. Oh right, this was time sensitive. Whoops. Okay, here we go. Nodes, then ports. A whir of interference. Slot the worms. Timer starts now. Stay safe. The thread dissipates. You are on your own now. Okay. Let's do our best. Extract data. Yeah, okay. The hunter's looking at us now. New Ripper Worm. Whoop. And ba-ba-bam. Layer F disabled, layer unlocked, Feng's progress. Cool. Consec S1. I assume we're just, you know, generally hacking all of these. More ports. Yeah, I think that gets me what I need there. Alright. Now, can't do anything more there. I'm going to need to retreat. What is all this? Feng's progress. Okay, we're roughly a third of the way through. How many cycles do you have left to get the data you need? Come on, Feng. Alright. That should be doable. That should be very doable. Cross over to this side, get some food, go to sleep. I think over here I can do this. Oh, no, wait, I need to, I need to actually input dice for that. Okay, so we'll just get some fungus. Some fungus among us. That should replenish us decently well, so that we can go home, sleep, and call it a cycle. Not bad dice. Does Sabine... Can Sabine make contact now? Yeah, Sabine. Okay, hold on. Let's see what we got. 4 cycles, Sabine said, and here you are. Right on time, with no sign of them. You wait a while in the apartment, the dread descending as the cycle spins onward. They should be here. Check the terminal. Nothing. Just the pale glow. The silence. You pace back and forth around the apartment. The rumbling of the station suddenly so present and loud. You go to the door and open it. To an empty corridor. Close it again. Now we wait. Where the hell are they? Yeah, let's... Rabia. A figure stands in the door, and immediately you know it's not Sabine. They're taller, sharper, and something in their face glints in the half-light. A dark shape, like a stubby baton, hangs loosely from her hand. Our local sleeper. Good to finally meet you. She steps into the apartment, glancing around with sharp eyes. What, may I ask, are you doing here? She fixes you with a steady, unwavering stare. Waiting for a friend. Of course, a mutual friend of ours, the good doctor. She walks past you into the apartment, glancing around. We set them up here, you know. This place is one of ours. She picks up a glass from the dispenser and inspects it. People always seem to forget who put them where they are. She glances at you. And I suppose you're here to help? But where are they? I was hoping you'd be able to help with that. She spins the baton in her fingers by her side. Her eyes are not leaving yours. We have a problem, you and I. It seems our friend has disappeared, left without even saying goodbye. Which means they're in a little trouble now. But it's the kind of trouble that you need help for. So I thought I'd come down here and take a look at their little hidey hole, and here you are, the help. She looks through the detritus on the side. And what help? A sleeper, no less, which I have to admit is a little surprising. It suggests to me that our friend hasn't been very honest with you either. What do you mean? Well, I'm sorry to report that before we got them set up here, Sabine was working for your owners, S&ARP. You blink hard at the news, unsure how to take it. Rabia looks away, waiting for a response. I'll stay silent on that one, actually. This is effectively a cop, and you never talk to the cops. She crosses into the next room, and you follow silently. She sits at the terminal. Whoa! Poetic Macabre? Long time no see, friends. Hello, hello. Have we met before? It's Miller! Ah! Pleasure to see you. Changed your name? Okay, what should I call you now? Macabre? Poetic? What are you feeling right now? But thank you for the resub. Thank you very much. I appreciate it always. What are we going for now? Name-wise. Macabre is fine, or Miller works too? Macabre it shall be. It's a pleasure to see you around. How you doing? How you doing? How have things been with you? We are in the middle of, I think, some sort of mafia trouble here on this space station. Loving the new avatar? Thank you. It's it's the same avatar, just actually moving now. The PNG that I'd been using was basically just a screenshot of this one. But it's working reasonably well. The eyes get a little bit wacky sometimes, especially when I'm looking down. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, all things considered. It was in the works for a long time, and then just sort of sitting there for an even longer time. But thankfully, we finally have it off the ground. To no real pomp and circumstance, but whatever. She crosses into the next room, and you follow silently. She sits at the terminal and touches her baton to one of the access ports. It's not gonna damage it. It's cool, very animated. Yes, this is the hope anyway. We've got the full V-tubing face tracking setup going. It's I made the model myself, which is why it looks so janky, and you know, especially if I turn to one or the other side too far. But as a first attempt, I'm quite happy with it. Well, and a gift sub to Manu Marin. You're too kind, Macabre. You're too kind. Thank you so much. This is this is the day of celebration. Yes, you've got the party What are those called? Noisemakers? What are they called? Trumpets? They have a name. They have to. Party... Oh, I knew this. I knew this at some point. I've forgotten what they're called. Confetti? Sure, let's just call them confetti. Yeah, because they are confetti pop. Oh, okay, yeah, this is right. This is confetti. Yes, and you get the cheer emote. That one took me longer than it should have to animate, because Clip Studio Paint does animation very strangely. A spark, then the terminal screen skips. Encrypted folders emptying themselves before your eyes. Okay, so you just have the full key to all of the folders. In the flicker of files, you see SNARP letterheads and code forms, reports laden with medical data, marked with the corporate logo, like the sigil of some cult. Rabia steps away from the terminal. Look all you want. Some of your files may even be there. The volume of documents is overwhelming, but they seem to be mostly reports on early emulation tests, surveys with sleeper candidates, reams and reams of usage data. If Sabine was an SNARP employee, why did they help you? Rabia reaches over and places a vial of stabilizer on the desk, breaking your concentration. It shimmers in the screen light. Its viscous clear liquid, crystalline within the glass. We will of course keep up the supply. We are more than able to dispense important medicines, even without the doctor. You hold it between your fingers, and for a tiny moment, you have the urge to crush this object, the power it has over you. I'll ask Toshiro to make those a little cheaper for you. He'll be running the surgery now. Rabia closes up the briefcase lab and holds it at her side. I'm going to be lurking but want to support. I'm playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Ooh, yeah. Have a good time. I don't play the Assassin's Creed games very often. God, it's probably been many years since I've played an Assassin's Creed game, but I have always found them to be generally well constructed. The multiplayer for Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, I think, is the last clear memory I have of the franchise, and that was fun as hell. Yes, do enjoy your lurk and your Assassin's Creed. Thank you for stopping by, and thank you for the support, Macabre. It's always good to see you. We have to retrieve our assets, of course, but I'm sure you understand. Rabia turns on her way out. There is no reason for us to be enemies, Sleeper. Come see me. I keep an office nearby. We have good work to do, you and I. Meet me there in a few cycles. I played a smattering of the others, but this one's my favorite. It's the first AC I've really gotten into. Oh, okay, well then fair enough. I would recommend at least up until Brotherhood. I know that those were popular, and popular for a reason. She slips out silently into the corridor. You look around the apartment and feel the fear drain out of your body to reveal the tiredness beneath. You should play it if you haven't. Somebody was, I think, trying to, like... Somebody was trying to get me to play that at some point. Is it Diddles, Sean? One of those. Yeah. So, it's good to hear that the franchise hasn't completely fallen off or anything. You love to see it. Oh, we have an upgrade point. Hold on. Hold on. Everybody slow down. I have one upgrade point, so not enough to use any of these. Okay. The upcoming one looks awesome. What is the upcoming one? If you have the time to say. I'm not familiar with it. Alright, we're gonna go over to the Greenway to do more of the data quest. Look at this. Look at all this. Whoop. Second Ripper Worm. Alright. Hopefully I don't need to acquire more of these. Layer X unlocked. Ooh, we're into Layer X. That's how you know it's cool. Oh, boy. I thought I told the citizens to sleep while they were still awake. Citizens to sleep. Why are they still awake? What the fuck, man? Sorry, I misread that. Hello, Des. Look, it's hard to keep track of day-night on a space station like this, so, you know, it's really just all up to whatever that individual sleeper's cycle is. Assassin's Creed Shadows, you play as a samurai. Oh yes, no, I did hear about that. A lot of chuds were getting up in arms about it. No, now I remember. Yeah, that does look cool. Okay, what have we got here? We've got a 6. I don't have a 6. What about a 5? Yeah, I have a 5. Okay. I have another 6, but that's also doable with a 5. So that's doable with a 5. This one's doable with a 5 or a 3, which I have. And the 6... I presume the 6 would be doable with a 4. 4? Alright. So we should be able to do this. I'm not really... no, really what? Excuse me. Not really part of the chatter, or you're not really part of the community, so you don't know the latest chatter. It was just because there was a black guy in it. That was literally the entire reason. You know how internet chuds be. Okay, so this one is acceptable with a 4, so let's do that. Yeah, nah, isn't it always the way? All right, we'll clock that in. People are ridiculous. It's ridiculous times out here these days. All right, that's doable with a 3. People are looking for reasons to get angry because, well, it gives them some feeling of control, I suspect. All right, we'll bypass you. Extract data. There we go. All right, I think we're fine. There's been a distinct lack of people of color, I've noticed, in Assassin's Creed generally. I mean, like, to a certain extent it makes sense, because it's, you know, so far the franchise has been focusing a lot on, you know, vaguely Mediterranean areas. But I think in recent installations they've been going for, like, Egypt, Japan, so, you know, they're expanding their horizons a little bit. Dude, nowadays people get mad for the color of your Twitch name? This I have not seen. That is unfamiliar to me. Ain't that the truth? Des, what is the badge you have next to your name? What is that little... Is that a Destiny thing? You did do Origins, which is set in Egypt? Yeah, okay. I knew I remembered that. And did they also do, like, Ancient Greece? Or something? Ah, yes. The final layer. The final Ripper Worm. I am working with such a delay on the OBS screen. This one chick get mad at me because my Twitch name color was pink and it was bothering her because she was the only one who was meant to have pink, let's just say. Yeah, okay, yeah. I see what you're saying there. Yes, that's what Odyssey is? Right. What is it? I forget. I'm so behind on the Assassin's Creed storyline and lore. You need a lot of historical figures. I mean, that's part of the fun of Assassin's Creed, right? All layers unlocked. All right. We're in the end stage. Based on Odysseus. Oh, right. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yeah, that would be. It would be Odysseus, wouldn't it? A thread from the facility cuts through the cloud like a hairline crack of light. That's it, the final layer of security broken. Somewhere, buried beneath the depths of the station, Feng is in control. He is slicing into the camera control circuits and piping out the result. You meet Hippocrates, Pericles, Socrates. Oh, that's all very good. So that that probably narrows it down to a very specific historical time. Socrates. Socrates taught Plato, who taught Aristotle. Right, I'm just trying to get my Greek philosophers lined up. Whereas, Diogenes hasn't entered the picture yet. Okay. Straight up told her to 0 out of 1 IRL and get over with it. Yesterday's Destiny 2 event. It's the Destiny 2 World's first race. Ah, okay, yeah. I know Destiny 2 is having a big event right now, story-wise. The thread flickers and unravels into an image. A scene. 2 figures in a room, one sat, the other pacing. The pacing figure resolves into Hardin, the unmistakable superior posture, the shock of grey hair. Yes, during the Peloponnesian War between Athens and Sparta. Okay, that's a dramatic period of time, I suspect. There's a lot of dramatic periods of time. Yeah, no, I got it, Des. Don't worry about it. I understood. It's awesome, but okay, I'm off to lurk. Have a fun stream. You have a great time with Assassin's Creed. It sounds like you really like it. The second figure's features don't seem to resolve. They are vague, unformed. A problem with the data, perhaps? You look closer. Then you see it. The figure is a proxy. Perhaps you should have expected it from Conway, a corporation whose very existence is owed to automation. Okay, so this is... I think that is essentially what they were alluding to. And yeah, Des, you really shouldn't do that. I'm torn about whether to let that message through. I don't want to train... I don't want Automod to learn that phrase as acceptable. So yeah, no, I'll keep that for myself. You understand, Macabre? Yes, I think you understand. Yes. The proxy is a machine designed to be piloted by remote connection. Someone elsewhere in the system puppeteering it with their own body, speaking so it may speak. I know it's wrong, but these people are like grown-ass adults acting like kids. Yeah, I know it's frustrating, but you can't say that, Des. That's crossing a line of its own, I think. The proxy sits impassively, or the Conway executive that is piloting them does, from the distant safety of some ship or orbital colony, perhaps. We can move forward. There is no doubt, Hardin is saying. The reclamation teams are almost ready, and after that, I will make the declaration. Nothing has to change. The proxy leans forward, its movement stilted, uneven, as if its body was being refracted through water. But things must change, Hardin. Talking about Assassin's Creed, 2 of the games are on Game Pass. Ah, well that's good for Game Pass people, but unfortunately I don't have Game Pass. I don't know, man, it's... The gaming situation is so fucked right now. Windows as an operating system is becoming less and less desirable by the day. Okay, going to lurk. Happy lurk. Happy lurk, Macabre. I got this so that I could run games. This computer, I got this computer so I could run games. And obviously that means that for most games you're requiring Windows. But Windows is just getting absolutely enshittified day by day. It's making it real hard to abide Windows. Now, the entire reason I'm not doing this on a Mac is because Mac support for gaming is absolute garbage. Better, getting better, but still nowhere near acceptable. So I debate going to Linux, but God, I've tried Linux before, and I just don't. I don't care for all the hassle that comes with managing a Linux distribution. You're a Linux user? I'm not a Linux user. Linux is actually the one operating system I'm not currently using. I'm using macOS to stream, and I'm using Windows to game. And I like macOS for, like, basically everything except gaming. If Mac would just fucking bite the bullet, support the industry standard graphics drivers and graphics APIs, it would be so much easier for me. It would be so much easier. I wouldn't have to deal with Windows. I wouldn't have to manage the hassle of like doing Linux. Gaming on Linux is fine now that Valve have sort of provided support for Proton and things like that. You can get by on most games on Linux, but it's still a little bit dicey, a little bit untested. I don't fuck with Mac because of that reason alone. Can't work on my games since that shit died. Yeah, it's... I really do like macOS. I really do. And for the most part, the programs that are available for it are, you know, basically one-to-one with PC, except for games. That is the one Achilles heel that Apple has right now on the desktop market. And it's so frustrating because there's clearly a group of people inside of Apple who want to do gaming support. Because I think it was like last year or the year before, or something like that, they released the game porting toolkit, which is sort of this translation layer, sort of like Proton, for games to run on Mac. And it's, you know, it's not perfect. It's far from able to run every game that you can think of, but it's something. There's clearly somebody in Apple who wants to do this, but they're just not getting the support of the company in general. It's very clear. Gaming on Linux is like inputting nuclear launch codes to download a game. It's better than it used to be. So, like, Steam is a godsend in that respect. If the game is on Steam, you're probably solid. I think Steam I haven't looked at the details of this in a while, but I think Steam has things on it that test for compatibility with Steam Deck, which usually is the sign that it's like a stable game to play on Proton. But yeah, you are kind of... It's less of a sure thing. I'm convinced that Windows is using gaming as one of its two crutches to stay afloat. But anyway, the proxy leans forward, its movement stilted, uneven. Things much change, Hardin. We need further assurances. I've been informed of a breach in one of your closed networks in the low end. You have been careless. Hardin waves the accusation away. We've been stretched. A breach was detected, yes, but no data of value was lost. Our board is concerned, Hardin. A drop in our value would be unwelcome at this time. The proxy leans back, its posture dominant. If the reclamation of A1 is contested, then we could be drawn into a compromising legal position. Hardin approaches the proxy. There will be no contest. Not from Solheim, who cannot muster a defense. Not from Havenage, who will fall into line below me. He crouches in front of the seated figure, eye to eye. And the people of this station? Refugees, gangs, spacers, all either opportunists or degenerates. Havenage is no longer strong, no longer united. No one here believes in Erland's vision, nor has the strength to enact it. I sat across from him at the negotiating table. He was forceful, eager, weakened by his ideological convictions perhaps, but a great man nonetheless. This place no longer deserves to bear his name. Okay, so that's interesting. Hardin? I think his name is Hardin. Hardin apparently had deep respect for the Union leader, the old Union leader. I wonder how common that is. The Eye is crippled. It cannot survive. It is a ruin filled with squatters and outlaws. They will be lucky if it still spins in 100 cycles. Hardin stands. You will move forward with the reclamation, because otherwise you will lose your advantage in the system. Without your advantage, you will lose claims on the remaining palladium. Without the palladium, your factories will go dark. Do I need to continue? One moment, comes the response from the proxy, and its head drops to its chest. Hardin steps back and paces once more, awaiting the discussion taking place elsewhere in the system. You watch Hardin as he paces, as he considers his future. What goes on within a mind like that? Is the mind of a man who would burn all those around him for a path to some imagined golden end? The proxy lifts its head. We're happy to proceed. We will legally claim the station formerly known as Solheim A1 as salvage within 6 cycles. Havenage is to assist with the transportation of the illegal residents to Conway housing and labor facilities. The proxy judders to its feet. Conway will also claim 70% of the raw output of the reclamation process, after losses have been accounted for. Hardin nods. I accept. The proxy reaches out to shake his hand, like a marionette, and then the recording loops. You watch it play out a second time, gripped by a horrified fascination. There is a bluntness to the conversation, to its blatant disregard for humans as anything other than objects. Things to be moved, to be used, to be fed into structures, crushed, and losses accounted for in the cells of tables, the margins of ledgers. You realize now that you are no different from anyone else on his station in the eyes of the people in that room, and those like them. Each body here can be recast as a piece of property, a tool, an expense, an acceptable loss. In one moment, they can be named a citizen, celebrated, protected, and in another, the very idea of citizenship can be used against them. That is what it means to live in proximity to a system like this. No longer, not while the eye spins. You gather the recording, pack it into a polygon of purest light. Then you drift down into the service dock like a falling leaf and find the relay. It takes only a second. It only takes a second to place that polygon of data, that recording, into the relay system Feng prepared. And then you watch as it bursts out, a web of threads, heading out into the black to every network device on the Eye. Let them see what power makes of a man. Oh, cool, we did it. Icebreakers. Achievement get. Cool. Cool. So that should be that quest done. Nice. Okay. Let's back out. Feng, do you have anything to say about this? Apparently not. Cool. Did I get any upgrades for that? Did I get an upgrade point? I should have. Yeah. Okay, cool. We're gonna get self-repair. Confirm. Now we can use scrap components at home to repair condition. This is actually really, really useful. And we're gonna cross the other side of the rim. Rabia's office, Caster. That's the drugs. Feng's Bay. Okay, we need to wait 2 days for that. In the meantime, we can... do we have, like, scrap parts? Oh, you're gone. So are you. Okay. Yeah, let's just go home. Perk self-repair. I don't have any scrap components right now, but I do have a stabilizer. Input dice. We will sunbathe. Yay! And cycle. I feel like ending the cycle and sleeping should give me energy rather than take it away, but who am I to say otherwise? Alright, so that's almost done there. What other quests do we have? Flotilla Aid, that's late game stuff. I don't know how late in the game we are, frankly. Build a home, disable your tracker, Flotilla Aid, get to know Memphis, join the Haifa commune, win a sidereal ticket. Okay, let's check out the Haifa commune, I guess. See what this is all about. Greenway, Haifa commune. Let's, I guess, just do these. Alright, we're getting there. I don't see any reason not to go all in. Could we get all of it today? I doubt it. Canteen and grow beds. Oh, I should have done grow beds. I might have accidentally gotten, like, mushrooms. Maybe I'll get lucky. Hey. Oh, wow. Communist. Someone who joins a commune. That's all it takes, guys. That's all it takes to build communism, is just, you know, volunteer at some food shelters. Oh, okay, cool. I can sleep here. That's nice. Rest, perk sunbathe. Cool. Cool. Rico. Head of Haifa Botany. You head down into the Haifa compound, following a blue-painted line that is labeled Laboratories. The member you are assigned to work with told you they'd asked to see you, but you still have no idea what about. The line takes you to a blue door and through to a glass-roofed chamber where a network of stems and leaves filters the sunlight coming through the ceiling, casting the whole chamber in a strange yellow-green. Peaceful, isn't it? Distracted by the green, you miss the woman standing at the lab bench, camouflaged by the dappled light. Welcome to my sanctuary, she smiles. Come, let's talk, she says and beckons you closer. Who are you? Of course, my apologies. She offers a hand to shake. I'm Rico. I run the botany program at Haifa. What is Haifa? She looks surprised. You've been working in the compound for a while now. I'm surprised you don't know more. She lifts a tiny sample jar. Yellow spores dance inside. Haifa lives off the land in the Greenway. It's what allows us to live like we do. No one here pays or is paid. We sleep here, we feed each other, we work for each other. Rico walks away from the bench and waves for you to follow. She opens a small door and leads you down a glass corridor surrounded by vivid greens. All this, she says, gesturing at the overgrowth. It's a kind of miracle. She looks at you with bright eyes. What do you think usually happens to plants on stations like this when they're abandoned? They die? Eventually, yes. They cannot live without intervention. She leads you left at a crossroads. But here, they endured. She smiles to herself. Actually, no, they thrived. You look at the bright tendrils wrapped around the metal frames of the corridor. They look dominant, strong, like they are taking control of this place. Rico continues. Of course, Solheim tried to create a stable biosphere here, patchworking the surface with gardens and algae tanks that feed into a network of microbial reclamation systems. But the Greenway was always envisioned as extractive, a place from which the harvest is removed and sold to those living on the station, not a closed loop. For this reason, when the collapse came, the Greenway should have gone with it. Erlen himself was so convinced of it that his first colony never even came here to try to reclaim it. The Eye instead relied on outside favors and influences, shipments from the inner system, and small-scale agriculture systems like kelp and fungal farm stacks. And yet here we are, among growth and decay, a biosphere flourishing. When Haifa came here, we expected to find only vacuum-dried stalks and leaves, and perhaps some fungal colonies hidden in the mulch. But we found a jungle. With this, Rico hits a button on the wall and leads you through a large pair of double doors into a huge, impossible chamber. It is every kind of green, from the pale algae tanks to the dark vines that surround them. It is wet, too, a rarity on the Eye. Condensation clouds the light from the high glass roof and gathers on shiny, broad leaves of shrubs. How? That is exactly our question. Rico turns to you, visibly excited by the room you're both standing in. It doesn't make sense, but in many ways the system is stabilized, unlike the farm stacks closer to the gap. Who needs input to support their meager output? This place runs itself. Perhaps Solheim managed something new here. Perhaps they tweaked the plants or built new systems buried deep below us. Or perhaps the collapse caused some fortunate cascade, an unlikely chemical reaction within the biosphere. That's what I'd like to help you... That's what I'd like you to help me find out. She turns to you, her forehead wet with dew. Aren't you the botanist? Astutely noticed, but I don't need a botanist. These halls run deep, sleeper, and I'm getting old. She stamps her foot with a metal grating on the walkway. Whatever is causing this, it's to be found in the groves deep in the Greenway. Haifa won't spare anyone for an expedition. It's too dangerous and unnecessary, they say. I can make the case, but I can't get the votes. You sleepers are hardy beings, I know that much. And you can speak to the Eye, uncover its secrets in ways I never can. She holds out an arm so that you can help her stand. Bring me samples, spores, seeds, and blooms. I can grow them in the lab and study them. The deeper they are found, the better. I'll try. Thank you, and thank you for listening. Rico leads you back out to the huge chamber and up through the passages. She is a little slower now, and stumbles on the steps. You help her where you can. It's good to have new blood in the commune, she says. Many of us have been here a long time, and few come through. She settles back at her bench in the lab, stretching her legs. You go to leave. Come back if you find something, sleeper, she calls. There are discoveries to be made. And you follow the blue line back out of the compound, all the time thinking of that impossible, magical green. Okay. New drive discovered. Help Rico's experiments. Collect spores for Rico. Okay, spores. Might be mushrooms. Ha ha ha, we might get some mushrooms. I'm gonna drink of water. Okay. So the Haifa commune... So nobody is just like... I don't think there's anything left here yet. No, okay. Why can't I do this? Skill upgrade required, so there's endure. I need more endure. Oh, I do have that. Do I have that? Can I do that? Ah ha ha ha! I don't have any dice. Damn it! Okay, well... That's fine. We can sleep here. Alright, my condition is not great, but what I can do is come over here and gather some scrap. That should be able to... Oh, yeah, okay. I am starving. I need... food. I need food. Oh, wait. Rabia has something for me. Interesting. Let's go here. Oh, the bounty hunter might be onto me. Nope, stay there. I want money. Give me the fungus. Okay, I'm not starving anymore. This is good. So if I'm correct, yeah, you should have something for me. Feng, what did you find? What did you find? Feng grins at you as the bay door slides open. Above, in the rest of the building, people are busy, frightened. They speak in hushed tones and organize endless meeting after endless meeting. Havenage have avoided a full-blown crisis for now, but change is coming. Oh, we have an ad incoming, everybody. Brace yourselves. Take whatever precautions you need. Feng is in good spirits and bundles you inside before you even have a chance to greet him. That was the slickest operation this station has seen, he hugs you firmly. You made my job easy. I'm so proud. And I got to watch through the cameras as the Havenage security that weren't in on it assaulted the station. Feng smiled. One of them straight up just whacked Hardin with their pistol. It was beautiful. They have him? He's being held, yeah. I think the idea is to use him as leverage with Conway to get them to back off. Maybe they'll exile him when they're done, or hand him over to some core authority. Now I know he won't be an issue. I'm going to be focusing on systems for a bit, seeing as that's my actual job. He points to the ceiling. The people upstairs weren't so happy, though. They've been fielding questions about the state of the eye right and left since the recording got out. People are scared. Is it true? Not if we don't want it to be. He touches the stack of hardware. The eye is old, and it was never meant to run like this. The master control points that Erlen and Havenage installed, they keep it spinning from the rim. That isn't ideal. But if you're asking me if the eye will stop spinning next cycle, no. And me, and a ton of other skilled people, will be working to stop it from happening in the cycle after that. Hardin's problem was that he didn't believe in people. He believed in systems and their ability to shape the world around them. But as far as I'm concerned, people should be the ones running the systems, not the other way around. Anyway, I know you didn't come down here for a lecture. My tracker. I haven't forgotten. He produces a thumbnail drive. I managed to finish that code solution I showed you. It's a modified Ripper worm, one made to deactivate that tracker of yours. But in the time since I got back, I added something extra. That tracker of yours doesn't just show SNARP where you are. It transmits data about the state of your body, your current condition. My worm won't just deactivate it. It'll edit that data to tell SNARP that your body is irreparably damaged. DNR, do not retrieve. Pretty smart, right? That's perfect. Just slot it already. You take the drive and hold it in your hands. Then you close your eyes and open up your access ports. Take down your defenses. The worm immediately enters your closed network. It whips through it, taking things with it as it goes. The moment they're gone, you forget they were ever there. They just blink out of existence. A second later, it is done. You open your eyes. How do you feel? Asks Feng a little nervously. Free. Well, you are free, sleeper. He claps you on the shoulder. Feng lets the word free hang in the air a little before he continues. Seems like it might be finally time for a celebration. Jenna still owes us those drinks. He laughs and you join him. And later, when you leave, you feel deeply thankful for having such a friend. As you walk away from the building, you look up to the wide curve of the eye, at the hub and the other rim beyond it. The whole thing twinkles with lights, and it seems impossible to see it as anything other than breathtakingly beautiful. It feels in that moment like something eternal. That doesn't mean it can or even should last forever, or that it will never change, fade, or decay. It simply means that in this moment, this place has a future. And it's one that you know, deeply and truly, is worth protecting. Yeah! We got it. We have an upgrade point. Don't really feel like spending that right now. But we no longer have our tracker. Hell yeah. Gather scrap at the unit. Until an aid. Where are these? Where are these mushrooms? I am so confused. It's got... I remember it was off this way, right? It had to have been. Green Bay. Or excuse me, Greenway. It has to be something here. Excuse me, something here. Alright, so what we'll do. We'll sleep. We'll deal with Eric the Bounty Hunter. So let's actually take our stabilizer. Do that. So that way we get a full range of dice. Complete active scenes. Did we not? Are we... Scenes? What scenes? Am I missing scenes? What am I missing? It's not you, right? Deliver spores? No. What are we missing here? Somebody self-repair. Something over here, maybe? Did I miss something? Oh. Yeah, the low end. As you approach the address Rabia gave you as a heavy hand... Let me start that again. As you approach the address Rabia gave you, a heavy hand falls on your shoulder. What's your business here? The enforcer grips your shoulder, giving a hint of the strength her implants give her. As you turn to see the same subsidiary eyes as Rabia and Toshiro, glinting like mirrors on her cheeks. Oh, there's the ad. Take a little bit of a breather while the ad happens. I might even stretch. Look at me, stretching. And we'll be back in 5 seconds. Alright, we're back. The ads are vanquished. For a time, at least. Gia, please. The sleeper's here at my invitation. At Rabia's command, the hand immediately loosens, and an apologetic look replaces the scowl on Gia's face. Of course, Rabia, I'm sorry. Rabia waves her away. Don't you worry, I appreciate your protective instincts. She smiles at the enforcer. How about you head to the tambour? They have a delivery coming, and they'll need some help with lifting. Gia nods and walks away. So, Sleeper, you came. I'm glad. Ah, good. Thank you, Macabre, for the formal lurk declaration. Stay strong. Stay strong out there. Assassin. I don't know if that's how the assassins refer to each other. I assume there must be some sort of phrase. Didn't feel like an offer. I'm sorry for that. You have to understand, finding you there in Sabine's unit, I wasn't sure where we stood. There are more than a few people on this station who would rather I was dead. I had to be sure you weren't one of them. I wish you no harm. I am glad. Rabia begins walking and gestures for you to walk with her. She takes you down the staircase, into the building walkways of the low end, into the bustling walkways of the low end. What do you know about Yataghan? You are a gang. A gang, yes, that is what people call us. But what meaning does that word have in this place? People with carts push past, moving crates of supplies around the thin and winding passages. Our reputation is one that implies threat. Is that fair to say? We're framed as aggressors, parasites, criminals. She gestures around at the people in the passageway. But when was the last time you saw a lawmaker on the Eye? A policeman? Who makes the laws here? Havenage, I think. Yes, they like to believe so, don't they? But claiming a lineage that extends back into Erland's Union. They assume the burden of authority. But they have no authority here, out past the Bright Market. And few work in the shipyard. Excuse me, where few work in their shipyard, or pay for docking berths. If you had spent your time in the Low End, maybe your opinion of us would be different. This is our place, our people. The Low End was empty in Erland's time. They didn't need to house thousands, and keeping the yards and the rotunda safe was work enough. No, the Low End was reclaimed later, when the refugees started arriving. Rabia meets your eye. The collapse didn't just happen here, on this station. When Solheim collapsed, the entire system felt it. Colonies were abandoned. The moons of Ember and Cinder suddenly gained independence overnight. Some took advantage. Some tried to hold it together. Some fled. The Eye became a refuge, and Erland, to his credit, extended an open hand to everyone. But many within his organization disagreed, and those new arrivals weren't as simple to corral as they hoped. Rabia leads you through a small market hall, busy with small stalls and traders. Erland's Union was made of workers, administrators, people who were malleable and already organized into hierarchies and networks. The refugees came from different factions and families, were scared, injured, desperate. Conflict was inevitable. Yatagan is a child of that conflict. A child born out of the need for us to stand up and claim our future. To provide security, strength. People call us a gang, but we are a community. I take my position as lieutenant seriously, and from my birth, I have worked to earn it. Rabia catches herself before she raises her voice any further, and you both walk in silence for a while. Among the smells and textures of the Low End, you start to wonder if this place could be a home for you too. Where is Sabine? I told you, Sleeper, they've gone, and we do not know where. I understand Sabine must have told you about their debt to us, but that was an agreement entered into willingly, and which benefited them greatly. I'll be honest with you, Sleeper, I was never comfortable with having Sabine as part of Yatagan. An ex-corporate employee, it goes against our nature. But their deal was with Yannick. I kept my distance, made sure Sabine had their surgery, kept it supplied, that was all. But I cannot allow people to go back on the promises they have made to us. Yatagan has not lasted this long because it is a charity. We offer and ask for support. Any betrayal will be treated as an attack. They were trapped. Desperate. Many on the Eye are, Sleeper. I am sorry, but we must ask that our debts are paid in full. Sabine found something. Please, I don't want to hear their accusations. If they only wanted to escape their debt, they would have said anything. But where are they now, to stand behind their claims? I'll find them. As will we. You realize that Rabia has led you in a loop, and together you both come back up a staircase to the walkway where you met. You are free to go, Sleeper. I have said what I wish to say. I would protect this place with my life, as it has protected me. I want to make that clear. However, if you too wish to come under its protection, I can help you. Return here if you wish, and there will be tasks for you to complete. You'll be able to see Yatagan, to see the Low End, with your own eyes, not as others frame us. As for Sabine, I will not ask you to betray them, but if they contact you again, consider their motivations carefully. With that, Rabia leaves, slipping back into her office, while you stare out the countless units, each a home, each with a story, that make up the Low End. Alright, so that was probably what was keeping us. I'll be honest, I'm not super interested in the Yatagan plotline. I don't think I'll be pursuing that very thoroughly. Ethan? Oh, God. Alright. We're back at Compressor. The compressor is almost empty when you enter. A couple of scattered patrons in the booths and a lone bartender. The bartender recognizes you immediately when you arrive and nods, and you return the greeting. You know already that you won't find Ethan here, but you had to be sure. With your tracker reporting you dead, he wouldn't have stuck around. You look at the empty stool, his empty stool, and you smile. You can imagine him on it with his slate chirps. When his slate chirps. Okay, got it. Letting him know that the target he was tracking is dead. You can imagine the screaming and swearing, too. Is that all you were to Ethan? Another target? Or was there something else going on? It seems like a foolish question to ask now, when he has fled the station. But it bothers you anyway. You take one last look and walk out. You doubt you will ever come back to this place or the memories it holds. You walk back out into the lights of the bright market and allow yourself a smile. So this is what Feng meant when he said you were free. You could get used to this. New drive discovered. Wait, new? Memphis. I don't think there's a new drive. I don't think there's a new drive here. No, I don't think so. Huh, weird. Okay. I will sleep in the empty container. But I could sunbathe to get some energy. And maybe again to get full energy. End cycle. Alright, what are we on now? What cycle number? Does it say? Anywhere? Doesn't seem to. Oh. Hi, Ethan. You miss me? Ethan smiles a ragged smile at you. No. You look at him. He's paler than usual, hunched. He's sporting a black eye and more than a few cycles of beard growth. That's no way to greet an old friend. Friend? Colleague? This is big, really big stuff about you. He seems more jittery than usual, on edge. You remember how SNRP canceled the contract on you? The contract I was going to collect? I remember. Well, I'm guessing you were pretty happy about that shit. Overjoyed. Me, I lost everything. But let's not worry about that. And so what did you think? That was it? I was just glad to be done with you. Oh, the feeling was mutual, except... what if old SNRP gave the bounty to someone else? Someone who's even more of a shithead than yours truly. What a disaster that would be. Who? That's the question, isn't it? Ethan fishes around his pocket for a slip of paper. I've been speaking to some friends, you see, some colleagues, about what went down. And it turns out SNRP canceled all their bounty contracts. The whole lot. It seems they've brought in someone in-house. Some guy who did so well on their last contract, they got offered a job. Apparently, he made a hit on this ship called the Winter Wonderland or something. It was smuggling sleepers out from under SNRP's big corporate nose. He killed the crew and blew the ship. They called him Hemwick or Maywick or something, I forget. Do you mean Winter Light? That's it. So you know about all this. Then you'll be very happy to hear what I'm about to offer you. Given this new information I've brought to light, it seems you are in need of protection. Wait for the pitch. I, meanwhile, am in need of assistance in kind. It turns out I upset some people in the compressor last time we were there, the owners. And they say they'll space me unless I work off the debt. Seems they're that kind of businessmen. I would pay them, but He shrugs and turns his jacket pockets inside out in a mime of poverty. He looks pitiful, even more so for his clownish acting. I don't need you. You should be glad, the anger rising in him now, that I came here and told you this. You think anyone's looking out for you? You're a contract, a name on a list. He kicks the wall. Ethan rubs his temples. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being a shit and trying to kill you and whacking that thick skull of yours. You think I want to go up against this guy? But us? We don't have a choice. So you keep me from getting killed and I'll do the same for you. We can help each other. Straight 50-50 deal. I'm not asking for a favor. I'll think about it. I'm at the compressor every cycle, working. Just think about Maywick. Think about that cold-eyed SNRP shit on his way here from the core systems. That should give you the motivation you need. Can't wait to be working with you. Okay, so I'm wondering how my deactivated tracker plays into this. Is the other guy still going to be able to find me? I mean, SNRP thinks I'm dead. But that might not stop him. If he's as good as they say, he might be able to look past that and see the truth. Well. That's also not in my drive tab. Let's do a little bit of work for the commune, why don't we? Let's do these, yeah, these lab things. Oh wait, deliver spores. I need... How do I do that, actually? Do you give me any clues? Collect spores. Okay, what about over on this side? Greenway Gate? I don't have that. Do I see anyone who can give me access to that? Nope. So I'm guessing just in the Greenway? Yeah, let's just do Greenway stuff, actually. How much would you give me? Just one? Oh. I missed. Let's try that again. Okay, you give me 2. Alright. I see no reason not to try and max that out. Ah. Fine. Get me spend all my dice on this. New drive discovered. Grow mushrooms. There it is. There's the ticket. That's how we get the mushrooms. Now I'm seeing this for what it is. Mushroom groves, the aviary, farm stacks. Okay, let's take a look at these. Your overgrowth, I need stuff for that. Collect spores, forage for fungus. And the stacks? Steal the harvest. No. Work the stacks, barter for food. Okay. We can sleep. Do I have any? No. Oh, wait, I do have some scrap. That's for self-repair. Okay. I can't sunbathe because I used all my dice on getting into the Greenway. So maybe I, just for the purposes of protection, sunbathe a little bit there. Cool. Let's do mushrooms? There's a lot of things. A lot of things they want mushrooms for in this game. Grove spores. Why is foraging for fungus danger? I guess because if you forage incorrectly, you might get poisoned. So, yeah, okay. Real caps. How many does that give me? 1? I think we need, like, 3 or something. Experiments, get to know Emphis, real caps. Bring mushrooms to the Briar. Let's do spores. Plus 2 grove spores. Oh my. A lot of grove spores. So at the labs we can put in the spores, and I think we actually have way more than we need. You? Yeah, that's you. So we can do that. We can do that. Get our second pie. And we can finish up like this. Alright. That should trigger something, yeah? Yeah. Rico, what do you got? Sleeper. Rico greets you with without so much as looking up from her work. I have some of yours here. Come see. She beckons you over to a heavyweight-looking console, wired to a series of specimen jars, some of which contain your spores. What does it say? The spores you have here are a real cocktail, a selection of types from within the groves, but I've been able to isolate a few. Here we have Tricoloma Matsutake. Rico breezes through the Latin and Japanese pronunciation as if it were nothing. A species Solheim somewhat modified for use on the station. She brings up a panel on her console showing a chemical composition. All gradiented bars and obtuse acronyms. This is the composition of the Solheim modified Matsutake spores. Modified. Yes, every species on the eye is a tweaked variant of Solheim's, of course. But that's not the point. You see, this is what your Matsutake spores looks like. I don't understand. Look at the composition. They're totally different. Rico glances at the specimen jar as if it might have something to add. They're fundamentally the same spores, but they carry different chemicals, different signals. Solheim may have introduced their own tweaked versions in the beginning, but the groves have, and still are, affecting them. Affecting them how? It's hard to tell without samples of fully grown mushrooms, and herein lies our problem. She moves to another desk where 2 trays sit side by side. First contain nothing but plant mulch. Second, you smell before you even look at it. A pungent aroma of the fruiting Matsutake, like rotting sodden overalls laced with an edge of spice. The Matsutake here are grown from Solheim stocks, pulled from a sponge vault, from a spore vault in this complex. They're delicious, by the way. The empty tray is germinated with the spores you collected. No activity, no germination, nothing. But the groves are full. Yes, they are. So here's our puzzle, Sleeper. Spores from the grove won't grow in the lab. But gathering fruiting bodies from the groves is too unpredictable. We need to grow a fruiting body from some of those spores so we can track it, understand it. In short, I need you to become my mushroom farmer. Actually, I already started. Well, an eager mycologist, I never would have guessed. I assume you set yourself up in the aviary? I've been eyeing that place up for its proximity to the groves. Bring me whatever grows, not just Matsutake. There's more than a couple of variants in there, so I'll need plenty of samples. She plucks a Matsutake cap from the tray. These little things are reflections of their conditions. Their smell, their taste, their chemistry. It all derives from the conditions of their growth. She smells the cap. Enough of these, and we'll have a picture of what is happening here. Of the ways in which this biosphere is modifying itself. Or being modified, whichever the case may be. And don't worry, Sleeper. If this turns out to be a dead end, I'll make sure not a single mushroom will go to waste. Okay. That's nice. Did I need to clear out the aviary? Because I didn't. Huh. Well, end cycle. We'll probably be starving when we wake up, but what else is new? Yep, there it is. Take a drink of water. Yeah. So, let's review. I could... Yeah, I've got those mushrooms. I can't just give you these mushrooms, right? Matsutake... Real samples. Oh, okay. Can do that. You know what? Let's do that. Might as well get that started. I guess we'll clear out the aviary. Maybe that's just what we spend today doing. Oh, maybe this goes faster than I thought. What is... Interesting. I'm wondering what's the point of having multiple segments fill up. Let's leave and get some energy from sunbathing at home. So, get that there. Alright. With that ending the cycle, we should just be getting into starving again. Right. Is there a place to get food around here? Work assignment. Dorm. Labs. Wastes, that's not gonna have anything. Farm stacks, maybe? Barter for food. If I'm paying Cryo for it, it's not really barter, is it? Well, at least I can get some food. 16 cryo, I can manage that. Let's see. I guess let's just keep doing the aviary. We're almost done here. All right. Now we germinate spores with what we have here. Cool. I have more spores. Mores, if you will. Ha 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 ha. I'm out of spores. I need mores. Collect spores. I think we can afford to spend 4 on that. Got some spores. And we'll germinate the spores. If I can click it. Alright. that, and that's going to be what, 2? Oh, 4. All right, we'll wait 4 days for that. I guess let's go over and... I don't know, maybe... What else do we have going on over here? Flotilla aid. Grow mushrooms. That's in progress. Mushrooms for Rika. Sidereal ticket. Work for Rabia. I don't want to work for Rabia. I don't want to build a home. I'm not particularly interested in Emphis right now. It's really just these mushrooms, Sidereal, and the flotilla aid. If I knew, like, what... Like, how late in the game we were relative to late game, I might be pursuing the flotilla stuff. But right now, I'll throw this into the Sidereal. Will that get me? Like here-ish? Oh, okay, we're halfway through. Halfway through finishing the Sidereal. This feels endgame to me. Again, fragment supply. Nope. I wonder if that's gone. Num 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 num. Yeah, I guess we can sleep. We'll throw this last 2 into sunbathing. Yup. End the cycle. And see what we have today. I probably could start using this. How much condition does this prepare? 1. Cool. That's fair, I suppose. How much is the new price for a stabilizer, actually? 80? Alright, that's reasonable. So, in the absence of... You know what, let's begin this. This episode flux, this episodic update. Oh wait, I need mushrooms for that. Ha 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 ha. Alright. I've got 2 auto wins, so let's do that. That gives me a Griol. And this gives me Griol. Alright. And then what I think I'll do is I'll try to get some scrap. I'll gather some scrap. This is dangerous, apparently. And then when I'm at home... Wait. Where am I? There I am. Destiny 2 is fucking nuts? Oh, you finished? Like the whole thing? Is the event finished? Okay, we'll sunbathe with that. We'll repair with some scrap. Hopefully that gets us the 5th die. Stayed up all night watching the world's first, only for it to be beaten offline. I'm glad new people did it. So, like, what happened exactly? I know this is, like, the end of the storyline, but... What is that... Like, how has it been playing out, exactly? I'm curious. Whoa, okay, I lost a lot of energy on that. Okay, so my plan did not work very well. So right now it feels like Helldivers. Interesting. I guess people are trying to capitalize on the Helldivers popularity. They released a lot of stuff since World's First. So it's like the Witness is moving to this place. All right, so hold on. Before we get there, what is World's First? You keep saying a lot of stuff since World's First. Is that like another chapter in the story? Like, what is that? What does World's First mean? Then it's like a 12-man mission. World's First is basically when a raid happens, right? Day 1, a lot of people race to get that title. Oh, so it's like the first, or like the first batch of people, or like the first 100 or so people to complete a raid. That makes sense. There would be some sort of honor to that. First 6. Ooh, okay. The teams are in 6, so it's literally just the first team. Okay. I was expecting it to be a little more lenient than that. So the first team to finish the raid wins it all. Wow. Alright. Well, good for them. That was pretty quick. When did this come out? It came out like a couple days ago? You guys work fast. Ugh. Excuse me. Here? Raid came out yesterday. Okay, that's even faster than I expected. They must be a pretty good team, I'm reckoning. Same day the raid drops, World First race drops. Okay, let me see what this is. And it... to the Team Parabellum on the world's first clear of Salvation's Edge. Wow. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the names here. Some of them are like pretty common, like username aliases: Astro, Bravo, Draketh, Shadow, Ham. Jake? His name is just Jake? What is that about? Jake? Couldn't come up with something better than that? Yeah, his name, it's just Jake. His name is just Jake. Maybe it's an Animorphs reference. Ah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's an Animorphs reference. You came, Peak smiles as you walk into the Climbing Briar's cargo hold behind a gloomy Esh. They brought mushrooms. Esh tosses the mushroom caps onto the crate, raising her eyebrows at Peak. So like 20 minutes after this tweet, they dropped a new 12-man mission where you're still trying to defeat the big bad guy. So they just had like secret missions waiting in the wings. I mean, surely the ones who got World's First on the previous one would have the best chance still. 'Cause they're the most in practice. Peak gives her a look. Thank you, Sleeper. They pick one up and sniff at it. Are these edible? Yes. Peak turns the cap over in their fingers before putting it down. We're not so used to fresh produce. Esh is securing crates as she speaks and doesn't look up. This is the announcement. Okay, let's see. Whoop, mouse. The Witness has retreated from the Monolith, but an important battle awaits. We need all Guardians available to help us defeat the Witness once and for all. Launch into Excision, the newly unlocked 12-player activity. 12 player, actually. Yeah, no, I just thought about that. So it's usually 6. They've bumped it up to 12. So now I'm guessing there's either going to be an in-game event or some cinematic showing how we either lose or win. So this is like final boss battle material here, right? This is what I'm getting from this. The fact that it's like a 12-player thing is also seemingly out of the ordinary, since it's usually 6. So this is going to be an interesting event, methinks. I wonder what Panda's doing right now. Ooh. I am very tired today. I might only go for 3 hours today. I might do a relatively short stream today because I am tired. We're not so used to fresh produce. Esh is securing crates as she speaks and doesn't look up. Hawthorne doesn't have much in the way of farming. Whoops, wrong computer. Hawthorne. The installation we grew up on. XPR loves to name their property after natural things, but that's about as far as their relationship with plant life goes. Who is XPR? Is an interrogation? Either way, we're done with that place, which is all you need to know. We're going to need more than a few mushrooms if we want to help those refugees through. What do they need? Food, water, components, a whole lot of things. Walks over the mushrooms you brought, placing them into a small container with care. The problem isn't just getting supplies, it's getting them through to the ships. Can't you just fly around? And get the Briar seized for breaching quarantine? No thanks. We were lucky to get here before the cordon was set up. That's the only reason we're on this, we are on this side. Why is there a quarantine? The Eye has a closed-loop life support system, just like any orbital installation. Any unfamiliar illness or significantly increased strain on life support could cause cascading collapse in its systems. Are we making excuses for these bureaucrats now? We're being realistic, Esh. But these people aren't in increased strain. They are living people. Even calling them refugees is just a way of turning a lot of scared, desperate people into a single, monolithic group. Look, as much as I'd like to chat, we've still got a lot of space to fill in this hold. So if you're gonna help... I think Ash is trying to say we need your help, and quickly. These refugees behind the cordon, they won't be able to hold out indefinitely. We need to get supplies to them in the next 12 cycles, or Havenage will have to bear the responsibility for what happens next. What can I do? There's 3 things we still need to secure. Water, food, and scrap components for ship repairs. Water we can just find a way to source, or my preference, just siphon off from the underground reservoirs in the Greenway. Ash. For food, things could be tricky. Those mushrooms are delicious, I'm sure, but no way we can get enough volume to feed a flotilla. However, I saw an algae stack on the way over. If we can get access... No more stealing, Esh. I didn't say steal. If we can get access, we can work the stack, harvest some algae for the flotilla. Those stacks turn out vast quantities in short time scales. And the repair components? Just look around you, Peak. This whole place is made of scrap. I'm sure the Sleeper has their sources. They can bring them right here. We get everything before time runs out, perfect. We get most of it, also good. Either way, in 12 seconds, I'm going to take what we have and go. But how will you get through? I thought I'd leave that up to you, Peak. Are you serious, Esh? I know we said we'd help the flotilla, but at what point... Take this seriously, Esh. I don't know the first thing about breaching a quarantine cordon. Maybe not, but they might. They slipped out from SNR facility, didn't they? Plus, they've been here longer than us. You're always trying to get me to find help. Well, here it is. Help. I swear to... I need to think this one through. Meet me at the cordon in a couple of cycles, Sleeper. Maybe we can figure something out. Meanwhile, you can help me acquire the supplies, discreetly. We have to keep this quiet, keep Havenage out of the loop. Once they get suspicious, this is over for all of us. This all suddenly seems a little too real, too dangerous. You've only just found your feet on the eye. This is not a time for causing trouble. Come find us, we'll be out here trying to pull this all together. Peek, come help me. Sleeper, look, we didn't choose this either. Help us finish this. We've set up a base camp on Broken Spoke. You're welcome to rest there in any of the cots while we work on this. We're in this together. Peek! S shouts, and they walk back into the hold to help with the container. As you leave the climbing briar, you look out at the broken edge of the eye's ring, where Havenage's cordon blinks with tiny red lights. What are you getting yourself into? Well, did that give me new flotilla aid? Gather food, scrap, and water. Okay, so how much of this do I need, actually? Okay. Needs food, water, and components. You might not be able to get all of them, but Esh will take what you can. All the supplies in the world are nothing without a plan to get them to the flotilla. That's Peek's part in this. Components for repairs. It's a lot of ships, which means a lot of scrap components. Ah, okay. So, we need scrap. I guess let's just... Well, are there... What are the other options for scrap? What are the other options for scrap? Could I go to any of the trading ships? Are they there? Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Oh yeah, Alan Wake DLC is today? I assume you mean Alan Wake 2, yeah? That is also exciting news, because I know a lot of people really liked Alan Wake. It does look cool. I like the design of that. Yeah, Alan Wake 2, that's awesome. Which, I forget which award show gave Alan Wake to Game of the Year. Was that Game Awards? Yeah, it was Game Awards. Okay. And I think it was Steam Awards gave Baldur's Gate 3, if I'm remembering correctly, yeah? I suppose I could check. But I'm trying to find some scrap. So as it stands, it looks like over here is the place to get scrap. Wait. Other way around. Oh, Steam Awards gave Alan Wake. BG3 was Game Awards. Okay. I knew it was one or the other. Alright, looks like this is our best shot for scrap right now. Wahoo. How many did that give us? 1? Yeah. Awesome. Bad luck. I suppose... Algae stack. Can I get energy from the algae stack? Negotiate access. Okay, we can do this. And I'm going to... Nope, not Haifa Labs. I want... the dorm. Take you. End the cycle. Please give me 4 die still. 4 dice. Yeah. Okay. I don't think I can just, like, eat mushrooms. None of our dye are really optimal right now. What about the scrappers? What about the scrappers? Can I buy scrap? I feel like there was some place that I could just straight up buy scrap. To the exchange? No, I could sell components here. That's no good. Ah, there you are. Buy some scrap. Could do this. How much do I have? I have 102? Where did I get 102? Yeah. Let me, excuse me, buy some scrap. And that's 3 scrap, okay. What about over here? No. Did I miss that? Did I totally miss that? Chance to gain random scrap on engineer actions. So could I do some, like, engineering stuff? Apparently ice, play ship mine, fragments, dismantle and reuse. No, okay. Interface. Where are engineer actions? Am I nuts? Am I not seeing engineer actions? Endure. Fabricator, maybe? No, that's an item. Huh. Ship mines, Machikake by Ship Mine Core. Nope, that's all merchant shit. I don't see any clear engineer actions. Ah, here's an engineer. Siphon water. Havenage alert. That's less than ideal. Choose the alert level of the system and keep you from getting locked out. Okay. Let's try that. Nope. Okay. It is very upset with us right now. That is only for perfect wins now. What about here? Did you have any? Oh, come on. Be nice. Yay! Alright, we have 4 scrap now. We can do that. Oh, you want the full 8 all at once. Cool. What about you? We'll do that. End the cycle. We're starving. This is not good. As you leave, you find a note pinned to the outside of the door. Sleeper, there's something I need you to see. Meet me at the cordon as soon as you can. Just keep heading around the ring until you hit the flotilla. I'll be waiting. Peek. You pocket the note and glance around this corridor. Looks like you're doing this. Time to make a plan. This is over here? Yeah. Alright, I'll get to you. In the meantime... we have a guaranteed win here, so this is going to be... used for that. That's pushing it. Should I risk this? Oh, okay. No, that's fine. Ad incoming, everybody. Ad incoming. All right. That's everything we need there. What about 82 cryo? I was willing to... let's actually just get this now. Stabilizer we're going to need. Alright, we have officially 2 cryo, 1 die, and a dream. We're doing great. That's risky. Okay, we'll leave this. Oh, we need to complete the active scenes, right? Round here. Sleeper. Any trouble getting up here? None. Good to hear. Come, take a look at this. They beckon you over to a nearby window, which looks across the ruined ring to the blinking red lights of the Havenage cordon. Is that what that is? The cordon's temporary structures, a net of metal struts, meant to detect and dissuade any ships from entering or leaving the flotilla, jut out into the black. And all around, the tugs flit, securing them in place and tending to the red blinking drones that demark the quarantine. It's an impressive and worrying sight. What do you think? How would you get through? Use one of the tugs. As an escort, you mean? I doubt we could fit all the supplies onto one of those tugs, but if it seemed like the Briar was being officially escorted through the cordon, then we'd be stuck inside. Esh has really wrapped us up in something here, hasn't she? Are there other options? If you've got them, I'm happy to hear them. The way I see it, there are 3 parts to making it through that cordon. Deception, distraction, and speed. We'll need all of them for a clean passage through. Deception means tricking the cordon's security into thinking that we're meant to be here. Maybe a tug escort would work? Anything that makes the Briar look official. Distraction, meanwhile, will be all about diverting attention so that no one looks too hard at what the Briar is doing. If we can create a gap in the cordon's scanning and deterrent systems, that should keep them busy. Finally, speed will mean making sure the Briar is ready to roll. Perhaps we can do a little work on the ship to get her ready? Esh surely wouldn't mind. How does that sound? Risky? Well, yes, there's always going to be risk, but that's how this works. You've got to be on board with that. 10 cycles left. 10 cycles to gather the supplies and prep this plan. It's tight. Very tight. If this goes wrong, just get out, okay? I'll follow Esh anywhere. But you don't need to be dragged down with us. Okay. Good. I don't need any more guilt than I already have. Let's get to it. I'll tell Esh about the improvements to the Briar, and the rest, let's explore the cordon as best we can and look for openings. I have no idea what guardian angel sent you to us, Sleeper. I'm very glad they did. Okay. Breaking quarantine. Scope the cordon. Oh, yeah. Oh my god. Even more. Even more stuff. I need money, is what I need. So if I... Let's see, I can unload containers, which is dangerous. What about doing some U? Which is also dangerous. Well, I have a 1. Let's pray. I got cryo, which means I can do this. I can buy some fungus. Gonna get that. Gonna go to sleep. Actually, probably smart to inject the stabilizer. Got that. We're at full stability. And look at all those dice. Whoo-wee! Alright. Hey you. What if I unloaded some of those containers? Cryo and energy. Oh, that's weird. Why would I get... Oh, share a warm meal as thanks for your efforts. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll buy some of your scrap. Minus 20 cryo, scrap allowance, random scrap item. Alright, we're up to 6. Yeah, 6 cryo, 6 scrap. I think we might be able to get the rest over in the wastes. Arm stacks. We still need to... no, not you. You. Algae stack. That's what I'm looking for. Negotiate access. That should take, like, maybe 2 major successes. And then in the wastes, we've got gathering scrap. Yeah. That gets us 1. That should get us a second one, and we should have all the scrap we need. Cool. With time to spare. Awesome. Is that not what you need? Ah. There's a story here. You look over the pile of scrap components lying in the briar. You look around. The bay is empty. Esh and peek elsewhere, either elsewhere on the station or on the bridge a couple levels up. You begin sorting through the pile, separating out useful components and boxing them by use. You don't recognize everything you find, but before long you get into the rhythm of sorting. As you do, your mind starts to drift, your attention being drawn to the dark corners of the bay. The briar is in surprisingly good condition, considering that Hawthorne and XBR must have been operating it for decades by now. The marks of care are everywhere, from the delicate patch jobs, polished to meld into original finish, to the carefully bound wiring running through custom trunking. Esh loves the ship. That much is clear. Something catches your eye in one of the dark corners. A matte black stack of crates you hadn't spotted before. They're sleek and compact, tucked away behind some of the bigger, more worn containers. You put the components away and go over to the sleek crates. You run your hands across the textured surface, but there is little hint of what lies inside the opaque metallic casing. Then you see it, a yellow symbol, embossed into the far side of the crate, a universal sigil used by spacers, corporations, and manufacturers alike. It's one you've seen throughout your time as a sleeper, its meaning all too familiar. Explosive contents. When you hear a hiss, an Esh comes up through the bay's dock. She barely registers your presence, nodding to you as she passes. Sleeper. She busies herself with some task at the back of the bay. Ask about the crates. Just more supplies, Sleeper, like everything else here. You can't think of anything else to ask, but sense that the atmosphere is now somehow shifted. You quickly finish up the sorting, and slip out, waving goodbye to her. Goodbye to her back as you do. Okay, we've got that. Should do. Now we... Alright, the next step is... food, scrap, and water. So food and water are the next big ones. Food for us goes here. That's risky, but not dangerous. Alright, cool. We'll leave. And we'll sleep with some photosynthesis here. Full energy, and we'll end the cycle. Okay, we've got 2 guaranteed wins here. That probably should go to the water. Ba-bam. Okay. Don't like how close you are to finding us, but... we'll continue negotiating access. Hopefully, this will be enough. Ah, we did it. Algae. Harvest algae. Food for the flotilla. Jesus Christ. There goes regular rate. Careful feed adjustments, you can improve your yield per cycle. Okay, well that's not something I can do today. So, we'll take the photosynthesis and come back tomorrow. Look at that. That's some nice dice. The water. Will you be enough to finish that up? Not quite. Oh, this is risky. Ah, but we got it. Everything's fine. Tucked into a service corridor deep below the reservoir, Esh is double-checking the seals on the water tanks loaded onto the motorized trolley. Though you are far enough away from any thoroughfares not to worry about being overheard, you both still speak in hushed tones. All good? Esh nods silently and hits the ignition on the trolley to start it moving. You take the other side of the trolley and walk it up the wide service corridor, with its flickering lights and Solheim detritus. You doubt it gets used by Havenage, at least that's the hope. You glance across at Esh, her face a mask of determination as she guides the trolley along. Maybe some conversation will make this journey go a little easier. Esh does not seem the conversational type. You don't want to disturb her further. You both walk the trolley through the corridor like bodyguards, attentive to the smooth running of its wheels, the balance of its heavy load. Esh seems glad of the silence, but you can't help but feel a little frustrated. Why won't she talk to you? You both reach a wide bulkhead doorway, and have to stop to shimmy the trolley over the edge. When you are done, Esh turns to you. I'm good from here. Head back. And with that, she is gone, moving off into the dark tunnel ahead. You watch her go and then turn around and walk the distance back to the staircase you entered from, the tunnel humming around you as you do. As you walk, you try to piece together Esh's past, but all you have are glimpses of a person she once was. She seems to prefer it that way. Ah, that's fine. Let me check the flotilla, actually, and see what else it needs. Okay. Scrap the flotilla should be done. If we harvest the algae next time... I don't even know if I can harvest the algae right now. Let's see. Oh. Interesting. So we need to do that 4 times. Okay. Unless we can speed this up. That's dangerous. Okay. Let's call that a cycle. We'll sunbathe here. Oh, that's actually we have 1 die to spend there. Let's try it. Why not? Yeah, okay. That will be our day. End that cycle. I'm gonna get a drink of water. And our dice are not great, truth be told. Kind of a crappy dice day. But should be enough. Oof, okay. Well, let's... I guess just start harvesting. Okay. I'm starving, which means I should probably just spend these photosynthesizing. Get that. Get that. Okay, so we're halfway through on this. Still need to do Peak's plan, which means this. And we're going to need more than that can give me. More than the dice that we have. So let's end the cycle, hope for some good dice tomorrow. Okay. Not bad. Let's try using you to get some food. And you to get some food. No good. Uh-huh. Scrap, we don't need scrap anymore, which means I could actually use the scrap to repair my condition now. But for the time being, let's go take a look at the cordon and see if there's anything that we can use here. Actually, you. Cool. That gets me some energy. This would probably have a success? Yes, okay. And that boosts intel. Nice, okay, we're halfway done that. So... time to sleep. This is going to be bad for us. Okay, conditions okay. Okay, the cordon intel. What I really need... I need to spend a day... Oh, I mean, we don't have many days left. I need to do something to help me get some energy. Nothing there. Aviary? No. If I could get a little bit of money, buy some mushrooms. Hi. Unload containers. Let's do it. Oh, add some energy and some cryo. Perfect. Let's save that, actually. Over here, we've got two relatively high-level things. Got the water. We've basically got the algae. The main limiting factor is over here on that. Gives us energy and intel. You should give us intel, and that should actually open this up if this succeeds. Yes. Perfect. Hangar, canteen, operations. Close on, gather information, you'll struggle to maintain access. Alright. Convince a crew. Tug escort, yeah. This is not looking good. I have 4 days to accomplish all that. And that's not even counting... Well, let's see what we can get this next cycle in terms of dice. Okay. Not the worst. Drone. A rapid burst of movement catches your attention. A drone, its fins adjusting as it covers in place, floats in the corridor. Hello? The drone shifts a little, but does not respond. Sleeper, come to the cordon. We need to speak. Okay. Sleeper, come to the cordon. We need to speak. You do see it as the HA of Havenage emblazoned on its side. This be Feng's drone? Satisfied it has delivered its message, the drone rotates and accelerates away as rapidly as it arrived. You stare at it as it disappears from sight, hoping for some insight that escapes you. To the cordon, then. Feng, do you have... As you enter the passage that leads through the cordon, a flash of movement catches your eye. The drone. It stops to make sure you've seen it, and then flits into a sideway passage, leading to a set of narrow stairs. You climb up through a dark shaft, the drone stopping at each landing to check you are following. Despite its lack of expression, there's something overbearing about the way the drone waits, impatiently realigning its fins in sequence. After a long climb, you come out onto an observation platform. The cordon and the vast ramshackle refugee ships beyond fill your vision. The scale seems impossible, and immediately you feel small and naive for even thinking you could affect this situation. Something shifts nearby. The drone again? Frustrated Havenage counselor. Helen? Helene? A woman is staring at you, a woman is standing at the window, at the edge of your vision. You aren't surprised you didn't notice her. She too seems impossibly small in the shadow of the flotilla. The drone buzzes by her shoulder, and she turns. Sleeper, sorry for all of the cloak and dagger nonsense, but I have never regretted being cautious. I'm Helene. Helen? I'm just going to say Helen. Shake her hand. The tight smile holds, but the drone keeps its single eye fixed on you. The effect is a little unnerving. Look. She glances around for the empty observation deck, as if checking for potential eavesdroppers. Let's be straight with each other. I know about your plans, and I understand your motives. You look at her in her overalls, the yellow markers, the HA sigil. You've been on the Eye long enough to recognize a Havenage member when you see them. You're Havenage. Yes, I mean, I expect that is obvious. I hope you won't hold that against me. The entire situation, I'm not here to defend it. Nobody is happy about this. Then release the flotilla. How do you think this works? Sleeper, tell me something. What does Havenage mean to you? Hardenhurst. That was unfortunate. But you should know it was one of our own who exposed Harden. And that has been dealt with. Havenage is used to being criticized. In some ways, we invite it. Our members are free to bring up grievances at any meeting, to propose new structures and approaches. As a counselor, it is my duty to listen to them. That's why I was elected by the members. We are an imperfect system, yes, and each counselor, each member, each representative can be flawed, and worse. But we keep this place running. That is what we do. And the flotilla? The flotilla is a problem. Can the Eye take in thousands of refugees safely? I don't know. This place is a ruin, Sleeper. What do you think the Council discusses? The price of Gerol? We make plans to keep this place spinning, to keep life support working, to ensure... Helen's slate chirps, and a grim look passes across her face as she sees the notification. She looks tired, the screen light casting her rigid expression in a pale glow. Sleeper, I didn't bring you here to explain how Havenage works. I came to talk about your plan to cross the cordon, breach the quarantine, and supply the flotilla. Stay silent, reveal nothing. I know you think you are helping the flotilla, but you cannot do this. Right now, halfway across the ring, one of a countless series of debates are being held. These debates are to evaluate the potential harm that could be caused if the refugees of the flotilla are left to enter the station. These debates are at a standstill. Too many in Havenage Council think of the flotilla as a threat. After recent events, a hardline group has emerged. Protective, selfish. They seek only to benefit the members. In their mind, the flotilla is a danger to life on the Eye. If you're caught crossing the cordon and breaching the quarantine, it will only strengthen the hardline counselor's case. Criminals who stole a ship from XBR undermining the security of the station, it's exactly what they want. The refugees need supplies. They do, and that's exactly what I want to give them. But unless the quarantine is lifted through a fair process, they will never get them. And those XBR spacers you're running with? Sleeper, do you know anything about them? More than I know about you. Let's change that, Sleeper. Why do you think the refugee flotilla came here now? Something is happening in the system. Something is pushing people out of colonies and outposts that have survived since Solheim collapse. We need to be ready for whatever is coming, ready to protect the Eye. I know the Eye means something to you. I know there's a reason you're still here. Help me protect it. Persuade those spacers that this is the wrong move. They will get caught and the flotilla will be locked down. Havenage will be delivered into those with the worst instincts. Forget this suicidal supply run with people you barely know. Help me fight for the Eye. Why don't you stop them? If I expose the plan, it's the same as if it goes ahead and they're caught. Every way I look at it, the Eye looks compromised. The quarantine justified. The hardliners get their scapegoat. Don't offer up the excuse the hardliners need to lock the flotilla out altogether. To persuade the members they're the safest pair of hands. Please. You look back at her and the flotilla behind, and sense desperation in her plea. Shit. Sleeper, I need to go. Think about this, please. Talk to the spacers, help them see reason. And she quickly leaves the observation deck before you have time to respond. You stay for a moment, watching the lights of the tugs and the flotilla. You wonder what it feels like to be one of those ships, so close to your destination, and yet so far from it. And then you think of the Havenage Council chamber across the Eye, where the right of these people to find safety is being debated. You shiver, and then you too are gone, back into the stairwell and the cold dark below. Okay, so that wasn't exactly the help that I was hoping for. Is there a way for me to talk to them? Well, let's take this. Try and get some food. Oh, you might even be possible there. Shall we risk it? Hey, we got it. You're leaning against the metal crates you just loaded up the algae, packed and dried into bright green pucks. Ash hops onto one beside you, flexing her aching back. Oh, the refugees like algae. Ash squints at you, as if you just interrupted her train of thought. It's a look you have become familiar with. Doesn't matter either way, this is what we've got. In these past cycles, working the algae stack with Ash, you've had little insight into her mind. She rarely seems happy to start a conversation, but is always eager to end one. Despite this, you feel like something has grown between you. Something like silent trust. The kind that tends to seed itself in the fertile soil of hard but necessary work. Concerned? You could say that. I think I'd be stupid not to be concerned about all of this. She's right, of course, though it's hard to focus your concerns on one thing in particular. Can the refugees survive on the flotilla? What are Havenage doing to help them? If the quarantine is lifted, is the Eye really in danger? Each worry is far too large to even begin to process, to judge, and they mesh with other, more personal worries until you feel an anxiety growing in your chest. You look at Esh, and you're suddenly eager to speak, to talk about something, anything, rather than just sitting and feeling this growing weight. Why escape XBR? Esh pauses, her protective instinct fighting with the trust you've built. You can see her begin to shrug off the question, then she stops, rethinks, and sighs. What you need to understand, Sleeper, is that Erlen's Eye wasn't the only place where the Solheim collapse happened. Sure, Hawthorne, where we grew up, was an XBR installation, but that didn't screen it from Solheim going under. Actually, Solheim was the only reason XBR were ever here. They are a service corp, you understand. They set up outposts and surrogate systems like this to offer refueling, logistics, and maintenance services to bigger companies with extraction contracts. like Solheim. When Solheim went bust, XBR lost their client. And Hawthorne, well, we lost everything. We became an outpost tasked with just keep holding on. Keep the refueling platforms running, they said. Keep the outpost stable. Hold on to our claim. She rubs at her head, as if recalling all this was somehow physically painful. Do you know what it is like to spend your entire life in a place with no future? A place that only exists to hold a legal claim to a piece of territory. To shore up breach of contract negotiations between two corporations. It's like living in a grave. So if you're looking for your answer to why questions, there's your answer. We, Peak and I, know what it's like to be forgotten, to be locked out. The silence extends, and you realize the conversation is over. Esh seems angry, not at you, but with herself, for even voicing such ideas. After a while, you stand and start to load the crates onto the powered cargo trolley that Esh will run back to the Briar. As you do, you try to catch her eye, but she avoids it, soothing herself instead of the comforting simplicity of physical work. Oh, we have an upgrade point. 2 upgrade points. Photosynthetic skin. Huh. Can I not? Oh, that takes 3 points. Yeah, okay. Okay. Give double condition is breaking. Yeah, I can save this. I can save for a 3-pointer. I don't see a clear way to, like, try to convince them not to do it. So I'm just gonna keep doing this, I guess. Oh, we're not gonna have enough. We are not gonna have enough. That's unfortunate. Sleeper. Peak is waiting for you when you leave, but they look different. Pale, drawn out. I need you to come up to the Briar, now. What's happened? Not here. Come to the ship. We'll be waiting. Don't take long. And with that, they disappear around the corner, leaving you anxious and confused. Alright. As you walk into the Climbing Briar's cavernous bay, now filled with crates and containers, Esh is waiting for you. In front of her, sliced open, with its insides scattered across the top of a heavy-duty crate, it's an object you recognize. Helen's drone. C. Vari VT. Hello, C. How are you doing? Are you feeling better today? Feeling any better? Feeling acceptable at all? How are things? How are things? Allo. Allo. You are feeling better? Fantastic. That's excellent to hear. Very, very good. Seems the rest did you good. We are trying to get a flotilla through a quarantine, and I don't think it's going to go very well. I think this is a disaster waiting to happen. Come in, quick. We have to start being careful. You move closer to the container, your eyes on the drone splayed out in pieces, some parts of it hooked up to a slate that Peak picks up and begins tapping away at. Esh looks up from the dissection. Am I ready for Miracle Whip Chicken? No. Hey, listen. You're gonna love it, I promise, he said, unsure. But yeah, whenever you want to reschedule that, literally just send me a DM. I'm sure we can find another time. I suppose we don't want to wait too long because I don't know how time sensitive your ingredients are. But yeah, shoot me a message whenever you feel like it. We can get that. We can get it. We caught it buzzing around nearby, heading for the ship. It's a Havenage spy. Hopefully before AX? Yeah, hopefully before AX. I don't know. Wait, AX? Yeah, whole month. Whole month. We got plenty of time. Plenty of time. We think we got it before it sent data back, but we can't be sure. Have you noticed anyone watching you? Any drones like this? Anyone following you up to the Briar? I've seen this drone. Following you? I met its owner. Talk to them about Helen. You explain that you met with Helen at the Cordon, and you tell Esh and Peak about what she told you, that the Havenage Council are debating lifting the quarantine, but they are blocked by the hardballers. You speak faster and faster, but before you can finish, Esh walks away in anger, and then comes back again, her eyes burning. What is this, Sleeper? Have you understood nothing from what we've told you? Havenage are not your friends. They are administrators, which means they are interested only in their own power, their own survival, their own causes. They divide people as easily as sorting livestock. The greater good of their work demands it. The wider project of the station, the colony, the nation. I didn't have a choice? That seems like a weird thing to say for a conversation that I had. She wants to help. Help what, Sleeper? Undo the mess of her own creation? She only wishes to placate you, so you'll compromise. So you'll do what is acceptable, not what is right. She's just a counselor. Let me tell you something, Sleeper. When people become administrators, they give up something. Some part of being human, being an equal among others, goes away. They start talking about the greater good, the systems, the ways in which their hands are tied, or their process is compromised. My mother was the administrator of Hawthorne, and I have seen what it did to her. That noble, higher calling. It is toxic. People should never have the chance to decide the fate of others. And those that do so at a cost to their humanity. Peak tries to cut in, but Esh holds up a hand. Don't start, Peak. Don't ask me to be reasonable or calm down. Thousands of people are desperate out there. Being reasonable will only prolong their suffering. Helen can help. I'm done with this. You're risking this entire supply run just by being here. I go next cycle. We don't need you anymore. Get out. Sleeper, you have to understand this is personal for Esh. Helen warned me. Warned you what, Sleeper? Getting caught will be bad. You don't think we know that? You glance around at the bay of the Briar. The walls seemingly closer every second. This whole thing is closing in on you. And the question is, where do you want to be when it collapses? You look at Peak. What do you think, Sleeper? Should we do this thing or not? I don't know. Me neither. But you see her? She knows, and she saved my life. So I'm going to say we do it. Onward. They slip away to help Esh, leaving you alone to replay the conversation in your head. A certain kind of grim determination settling in the room. Last chance to prepare. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to do this in 2 cycles. I don't like this. You're all cleaned out. It's just the plan now. That's done. Peak's plan, I don't have anywhere near enough for this. Maybe we can get lucky and with one of the things done, it'll be better, but God, I don't think the odds are good. I don't think the odds are good. Oh, nice. We got a boost. That way we won't be starving during the next cycle. Ooh, good dice, though. Good dice. Okay. I don't like this. Alright. We'll try to get this. Getting some cryo out of it, so that's something. I have to spend this dice. Alright, that's done. Sleeper. I followed what you were doing on the network. Incredible work. How do you do that? I'm not really sure. Well, it seems pretty incredible to me. Almost worth being... Sorry, I didn't mean... Don't worry about it. Sorry. You and Pete quietly slip into the main walkway and work your way back to the public areas of the cordon. Havenage has had to quickly respond to the flotilla's arrival, and that means a lot of contractors and spacers walking through these corridors. You blend in easily enough. I haven't actually met a sleeper before. As you might have guessed, Hawthorne is an XBR service outpost, and since the collapse, no one came for refueling or repairs anymore, so my generation has never met anyone outside the company. We heard about sleepers from the data packets that came through from XBR every once in a while. They usually contain news among with the corporate propaganda, but the reports were light on the details. SNRP have kept the sleeper program pretty quiet anyway, and I think XPR are only interested in telling their employees about it because they made a living in our company town look like a good life, in comparison to being a piece of corporate property. Sorry, again, I don't mean... It's okay. I'll shut up about it now. You walk a little further, the walkway becoming busier. You both relax a little more, and go with the flow of people. I just want to say I think I understand. I understand the need to escape, to get free of it all. The structures, the systems, the company horizons in a company town. The small places, small corridors, small people. The slow death it brings. That's it. I get why you signed up to be a sleeper, and why you escaped from that too. You try to form words, but you can't. There's altogether too much running through your head. But you look at Peak, and they look at you, and that seems okay for now. You walk in silence again, each of you in their own thoughts, but moving together through space nonetheless. After a while, you come to the entrance to the cordon, where handfuls of workers and crews filter in and out through huge loading bay doors. Peak stops. Okay, I'm heading back to the Briar. Once again, incredible work on the sensors. The blind spot you created, that should give us a real advantage. See you soon. Well, I hope it gives you an advantage, because I can't... I don't think I can provide you with much else. Tug escort would be nice. Throw that in there. I might be able to preserve energy by buying some mushrooms. I don't want to be starving tomorrow. Wait, if I do noodle manufacture, that's, no. That one requires a dye. So I'll just order my Fungus Among Us. And... back over, and we'll... wait. We'll see how this goes. I'm not looking forward to this. I don't think it's going to go well. She's gone, Sleeper. She started the run without us. Shit. Let's go. If we head to the cordon now... She has to make it, Sleeper. She has to. A shiver runs down your spine. Esh, I hope you know what you're doing. Probably not good. You arrive, frantic and anxious, at the cordon. Peak is nowhere to be seen. Then you hear footsteps, hammering on the metal stairway Helen's drone led you through before, the one that leads up to the observation deck. You leap up the stairs 2 at a time, and make it to the top, momentarily blinded by the light pouring into the observation deck. Sleeper. She just... I know she's trying to protect me, but... I'm gonna stay silent. There she is. Peak rushes to the wide window, leaning forward to catch a glimpse of the Climbing Briar's blue XPR livery against the black of the void. You spot the Climbing Briar, a glint of blue and white, tiny and alone, arcing down towards red lights of the cordon. She's exposed. They will see her coming if they look. You watch the cordon, and the buzzing tugs for any sign of movement, any response. Come on, Esh. Then you see it, a sudden flicker of yellow. Those 2 tugs are heading to cut her off. Go, Esh! As if responding to Peak's urgings, the Briar speeds up, diving for the cordon edge now, like a hawk descending. You tense up. Peak grips the rail as the Briar races towards the edge of the cordon, that invisible net of sensors splayed between ships and drones. Now let's hope the blind spot triggered. You think back to the mess of systems you had to wade through to set it up. The delicate contingencies you set up to trigger the sensor blackout at just the right moment. The Briar slides through the cordon as if it was nothing, rapidly slipping into the mess of ships in the flotilla. You look back to the pursuing tugs and see them slow, confused by the cordon's acceptance of the Briar, and struggling to track their target. Esh is in. Both you and Peak let out a breath you've been holding, and laugh. How did she do it? She's good. She certainly is, if a little stubborn. You feel a little shaky from the tension. Peak's ease helps you settle. You imagine Esh, steely-eyed, in the pilot seat of the Briar, searching for a place to dock. Maybe being stubborn has its advantages. What now? Now she finds a place to dock and unload, as quietly as possible, and then she gets the hell out of there. You and Peak turn back to the window, looking for the Briar again amongst all those hulls, the calm fading, as new worries settle in. You spot the Briar first this time, docking with the largest of the flotilla's ships, the vast converted tanker, half of its protective plates removed. You think about the effort it must have taken to get that thing all the way here from the inner system. You watch the Briar, unable to get any sense of progress from its placid exterior. They'll be offloading everything now, Peak says, both assuring you and themselves that everything is going to plan. You think of all the supplies loaded onto the Briar, and how long the process of unloading them might take. The bay was packed, rammed with everything you could offer, and the thought of bringing all that to the flotilla makes you smile. You think of the reaction of the refugees, of the welcome they'll give Esh as the bearer of such gifts. You even imagine a smile from Esh as she is showered with thanks. You focus on that as you watch the Briar, and continue the nervous wait for it to finish unloading. It's breaking off. Peak points at the Briar, and you'll see the puff of air and dust that accompanies an emergency depressurization. Esh must have ended things early, but why? Then you see them, the tugs closing in on the Briar. Havenage must have spotted the ship. You and Peak are up against the window again, willing the Briar a safe path out of the flotilla. The Briar drops through the flotilla, but it's agonizingly slow. Come on, Esh! Peak shout in desperation, pressing a palm against the glass. You squint at the gathering yellow glints of the tugs. They're too fast. You both watch in dismay as the tugs swarm the Briar, their shunts locking onto the hull of the ship and holding it in place. The Briar is stuck, its drives unable to escape the tug's grip, especially in the close quarters of the flotilla. Peak is silent, and you watch as the Briar is dragged away towards the facility at the edge of the rim, a hole opening up in the pit of your stomach. You look at Peak, but they don't respond. They don't take their eyes off the Briar. Even after it disappears, they stand there at the glass, their eyes fixed on the flotilla. She didn't even get the supplies through. This was all for nothing. I'm sorry. This was stupid, Sleeper. A stupid plan. We had a ship and our freedom. Now what do we have? I won't be trapped again. I won't. They turn and rush out of the observation deck before you say anything, leaving you alone with the cold and the light. Okay, so what does this become? I'm thinking we try and throw these dice into the Sidereal Horizon. And I guess wait for that cleanup thing to trigger. Build a home, get an office, grow mushrooms. What are your experiments going to be? Harvest the mushrooms. I can do that. I can harvest mushrooms like the best of them. Yeah, I guess maybe I'm not late enough in the game to have properly attempted that quest. I'm not sure. Oh, harvesting the mushrooms takes dice, of course. Well, can end the cycle. Starving, so over here, yeah, we just need one more day for that. I think we'll probably finish up this day and then call it a stream, because I am feeling very tired, very exhausted, actually. I don't know if I got great sleep last night. So, let's, I think I get money for working on the Sidereal, right? Yeah, I get cryo for that. So I can use that. 15. We'll be able to do this. We'll be able to do this. Cool, that should be more than enough to get my stabilizer. That'll be that. 37. We'll also get some mushrooms. That should boost our... that, and... yeah. Go back here. Oh, I need to actually, like... renovate that? That's no good. Alright, we'll inject the stabilizer. Whoop. Should be good. We'll end the cycle. Ah, look at those nice dice. Anything calling out to me today? Probably not. Okay, I think that's where we'll end it today. 'Cause I'm feeling pretty exhausted. I wanna take it slow a little bit, I think. So, call it that. Go to the main menu. And I'll bring us over here. We can get prepared for rating. Okay, so what do we have today? What do we have in terms of people streaming right now? We could raid Seiji. Seijitsuna. Seijitsuna. They're playing Cult of the Lamb. Yeah, we could raid them. That seems like a good idea. Uh-oh. When did that add income? Oh, that's... Okay. We're gonna have to raid out fast. All right. Anybody who wants it, here are the raid messages. Grab a raid message. Okay, so I'm thinking I might be doing a Wednesday stream this week, and that might be just a little bit of art. Might be doing some art on Wednesday. If not, I'll definitely be playing Citizen Sleeper again next Saturday. Well, I should get my actual raid ready. Silly me. Okay. So /raid. So I think that's right. Raid has been created. Cool. All right. I will be seeing you all again soon, I hope. If not, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, stay true to yourselves, everyone.